Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Real to Ideal Revolutionary Show. I'm so glad you're here. Once again, I'm excited about today's topic, so we're just going to dive right in. If you're listening live, give me the hearts and comments so that I know that you're here watching live. And as always, if you have questions or feedback, if you want to apply what we're talking about today to your specific situation, you can leave me a comment anytime and I'll be happy to answer it, whether it's live or afterwards. If you're listening to the replay, same thing, throw those comments in there. I'll be happy to come back and answer them. And if you'd like to join the conversation, same thing. Just drop a comment in. I'd be happy to have a dialogue with you, because Real to Ideal is all about community and making sure that these tactics, these methods, these discussions we're having work for you and your business. So let's see here. Just to say hello and let you know where you are, what you're listening to. This is the Real to Ideal Revolutionary Show. My name is Molly. I'm the founder of the Real to Ideal movement for revolutionary leaders. And we are working to change the world one business at a time. So welcome. Thanks for watching. All right. Let's see here. If you're watching live, do me a favor and share this video so that other people can get access to it as well, so that everyone in your circle can learn the important thing we're going to talk about today, which is how to grow and grow and grow your business in any direction without feeling like you have to rebrand, without feeling like you are confusing your audience, and that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're done with the details, so let's dive in. All right, so you hear about people switching from one business idea to another, and then all of a sudden they experience explosive growth and easy sales, right? You've probably seen this in Facebook groups or on Instagram, people saying that I struggled trying to sell this one thing. And so I eventually either gave up completely on that thing, or I took a break from it or whatever, and I shifted my business. And so for some people, it's going to be like, I was a business coach and then I decided to become an intuitive business coach. And so I brought the woo into my business. I brought the spiritual side into my business. And that's when things exploded. And that's a magical thing, because that's when you're really owning your superpowers and you're saying, this is where I can deliver the most value. This is where I can get my clients the best possible results. And so that's not quite what we're talking about today, but it does tie in. Like, for example, with that business coach, she may feel like she has been branding herself as a business coach. And now to introduce this new level of it might feel like a bit of a rebrand. So in that situation, yes, definitely this topic is going to fit. But what I really want to talk about is for people who make a major shift in their business, where they say, like, I started off as a health coach. I hear this all the time. I started off as a health coach and like I did the beach body thing or whatever. And I realized it just wasn't for me, that's not the kind of thing I wanted to keep teaching. That wasn't the kind of thing I wanted to keep selling. And so they radically shifted their business. So like then they became a business coach or a marketing coach or whatever it may be. Not me, by the way. I never sold anything health related. And that's really not even part of my brand. I'm more about the work hard, play hard, party hard brand. I'd gladly climb mountains and that kind of thing and go camping and glamping and whatnot, but definitely not a fitness person. And so then what happens is they radically shift their business, and now it feels like they have to do a complete rebrand, right? Because now it's like, well, I just flipped from health coaching to something completely not related to health coaching. And so now I have to build a whole new business and a new identity and a new brand. What I want to talk about today is how you can grow in that way, whether it be from business coach to intuitive business coach, or whether it be from like health coach to business coach. How you can make those shifts and pivots in your business, how you can make those radical changes in your business without having to rebrand. Because if you create the right brand for you at the beginning of your business, then you'll never have to rebrand. You won't have to radically shift the way you present yourself to the world, because if you think about it, you haven't changed. Just because the thing you're offering, the thing you're selling has changed, you haven't. And so there are ways to create a brand that represents you and grows with you. And I want to dive into some of that today. But back to that person who switched gears and experienced explosive growth. Before we go into the branding stuff, I want to offer you a quick tip that you can use in your business, because I have a theory about why sales immediately took off when somebody launched a new offer or shifted their business. And I think the main thing is that when we have a new idea and we're excited about it and we're inspired, we're not afraid to talk about it. We go and we want to tell like everyone. We want to shout it from the rooftops. We want to share it in every single Facebook group. And so we literally find ways to work it into every conversation, don't we? Imagine if you were to get engaged, pretty soon you find a way to work into every single conversation that you've got a new ring on your finger, right? You can't help it. It's just the way that we act when we're excited. We want to share that excitement. We want to share that celebration with other people. Well, so in marketing, in sales, when you're really excited about something and you talk about it a lot and you use every opportunity to talk about it, that makes for great sales. So of course that business is going to explode and their schedule is going to fill with ideal clients. Well, okay, maybe not ideal straight out the gate, but still the people are going to line up to work with that person for two reasons. When you show up with that much excitement, people line up to work with you because you're like a whirlwind of fresh energy. It feels like you just kind of burst onto the scene out of nowhere and you're full of this excited energy. And it's, because it's something that's new to you, you're not following the formula that everyone else in that industry is following. So for example, let's take that health coach again. When the health coach explodes onto the scene as a business coach, she's not used to speaking as a business coach yet. And so the way she speaks is still coming as this, someone who's really excited about business coaching, but coming from a health coaching perspective. And so she's going to have a voice that's really unique and different than all the other business coaches. Now, after a while, I think some of that kind of gets, what's the word for it? We learn how other business coaches do things because now we're studying them. We're watching them. We're reading all of their posts to see what it is they do to succeed as business coaches, right? And so then we kind of fall into that formula. We stop sounding like the health coach who became a business coach because we think we sound naive. When we first start something new, we think we sound naive, but in fact, we sound refreshing. We sound unique and we sound like our true authentic self. And you know how much I love the idea of true authentic self because that's where the magic is. So I say, explode onto that scene. Don't worry about studying other people. Be yourself and really embrace and enjoy that point in time when you're new. I'm currently doing that myself with this podcast. I have not been studying the greats in podcasting. I know that my show sounds very different. I know it doesn't sound as what's the word? I listen to other people's podcasts. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm really not doing that. I'm not doing things that way at all. So hopefully I come across as refreshing, like we're just having a conversation. That's why I do these live instead of pre-recorded, is because I want you to be able to be part of the conversation. That's on brand for Real to Ideal. And it's more fun for me. So that's why I'm always saying, drop those comments in. Let me know what you're thinking, what you feel about what I'm saying. Let's see here. So that's part of why when people show up with a new offer, they explode onto the scene and people line up to work with them because they're talking about it all the time. They're posting new posts about it. Like, hey, guess what? We just, now we offer business coaching services. Or they use every single opportunity. So they're going into Facebook groups and they're looking at the questions people are asking. Again, when you're new at something, you want to know, what does that audience want? So you're doing the market research. You're paying attention to what people are asking. You're asking questions to find out what people want. That's good business sense. Those are the kinds of things you should continue to do in your business, even after you're no longer new in that industry. But so many people don't. And that's why people, when they're new, do really well out the gate is because they're doing the market research. They're listening and paying attention to what people are asking. They're engaging on other people's posts. They're commenting on other people's posts and saying, "Oh, I can help with that," because they want to prove themselves, right? And they want to show people that they know what they're talking about. These are all great relationship building exercises that every business could benefit from. We just tend to do it less and less the longer we've been in business in that industry. Let's see here. And I had another note for why. So they're excited about it. There's that fresh energy. And they're excited about selling because they're excited about this new idea. They're letting people know that they are available to hire. So they want to make sure that people know that they have business coaching services available, and so that they're selling them. This is available. Hey, I'm available. Hey, I do this now. That kind of thing. And again, I'm talking about this partly because I'm doing this too. Real to Ideal, actually just since our show last week, Real to Ideal added done for you marketing services. And of course, I did the same thing. I'm like, hey, I want everyone to know that we no longer just coach you on how to do your own marketing. We're no longer just coaching you to stand out and shine online, coaching you to become the revolutionary leader you're meant to be. Now, we'll also do all your marketing for you. Because what I was noticing in my own clients, when I did the market research and when I listened to what my people wanted, it's that the coaching is great. Every single call, my clients were like, "Oh, this was amazing. I feel so much more clear now. I'm excited about this. I know what to do. I feel confident. I feel clear." Like getting these major breakthroughs and transformations on every single coaching call. So I was thrilled with the coaching. I still am thrilled with the coaching aspect. But what I found is that it wasn't translating online as well as I would like it to. Like as a marketing person myself, when I see them making such big shifts in themselves and in their business on the coaching calls, but I don't see that showing up on social media, I feel like this isn't done yet. Like, that's great that you have reached a new level personally, that you're vibrating on this higher frequency, that you can see the success for yourself and that you're ready to go out and get it and you're doing the work to get it done. Like on the back end, they're doing the work. It's fabulous. But when it doesn't show up in the social media, then it's like, okay, now the rest of the world doesn't know about these transformations. The rest of the world can't feel this vibration from you. They can't feel this energy and excitement from you. So it's great that it's happening behind the scenes, but how can we bring more of that online? Because I'm not really the stand out and shine online coach if you're standing out and shining offline or only on the coaching calls or only in the back end of your business. So I was brainstorming with my team and we came up with this idea of offering done for you marketing services. And we sort of just tested the waters. We let our existing clients know that this was a new service that we were offering. And do they want it? Do they know anyone that wants it? We shared it in the Real to Ideal Superstars group, which is the Facebook group, and people loved it there. And private messaged a few people that we've been friends with, connecting with, peers, network. Private message just a few people to let them know this was a new service. And sure enough, people lined up to buy that service. People lined up to hire us because, we're talking about it. We're saying, hey, this is available. Hey, is this something you're interested in? And when we saw the response was so huge and so strong that the sales were just stacking up, we're like, okay, we're going to go public with this now because this definitely passed the test. People definitely do want this and they trust us to do it our way. Like they trust us to do the Real to Ideal way, which means, of course, we're going to help them stand out and shine as their true authentic self. We're not going to impose our own message on them. We're not going to impose our own brand on them. We're going to help them truly represent themselves online. And so now I feel like my business is so much more complete in my mind because now I know that the coaching is going to help bring these radical transformations, and I will be able to help people in a much better way to bring that online, to stand out and shine online, to bring those transformations and that energy into their social media marketing, their newsletters or blog posts, etc. So the reason, let's see, I'm going two different directions with this, so I want to make sure I don't go off track. My point was is that once I realized that this is a direction that we do definitely want to go and we started talking about it publicly, I did what I was just talking about. I was so excited about it that I started, on going into Facebook groups, and when there was a promo day, promoting this new service, this new angle. Every time it came up in conversation, like someone was having a conversation about who to hire for marketing, I jumped in and said like, we're available. When people had a question about how to do their social media, I jumped in and said, hey, I know the answer to that. Let me help you, kind of thing. So I was so excited about this new angle that I was talking about it. I was letting the world know that this is available. And sure enough, sales came rolling in, right? That's what happens when we're excited, when we're talking about it, when we're letting people know that we're available. It's like you have to take that extra step, not just talk about it excitedly, but let them know that they can buy. And that's one of the elements that you see in the Enlightened Marketing for Revolutionary Leaders, which is the ebook that we've been promoting at Real to Ideal. One of the elements of enlightened marketing is don't be a martyr. Make sure you're talking about how people can hire you. Make sure you're talking about what you have for sale. Make sure there's that energetic exchange of like, you're putting out all this value. Don't forget to ask for the sale. And don't think that like, if I just give and give and give and give and give, people will notice and they'll line up to hire me. That may be true for some people. I've heard that people do that and people just line up to work with them. That's great. Jealous, but that's great. For me, I have to say like, hey, this is how you can work with me. This is what we offer. And this is how you can take advantage if you want. So make sure you're talking about the sale as well as talking about this new idea you're so excited about. And let's see here. So the quick tip, so to speak, for you is how can you bring more of this excited energy and the no fear about talking about your sales? How can you bring more of that into everywhere you're showing up in every way? So whether it's Facebook groups, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, your blog posts, your networking events, your podcast, your Facebook lives, your whatever it may be. How can you show up with this no fear talking about your sales and your services and this excited energy? Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining and listening. Killer content in the first part of this. So definitely catch that replay and let me know if you have any questions at all. All right. So now for part 2. I want to bring this into a branding conversation. So when that health coach pivots to become a business coach, or that business coach decides to become an intuitive business coach, or as in our situation, when we go from coaching you on leadership and coaching you on marketing to adding done for you marketing services, how do we do that without feeling like we're confusing our audience or without having to rebrand? Or without having to, rebrand's the best word for it, really. But, how can we do this without feeling like we have to start from scratch? There we go. So I have an answer for that, and it's pretty easy. There's exercise that we take all of our clients through when we're doing like a branding from scratch or building a business from scratch or anything like that. And it's an exercise that's included in the workbook. Let me throw that link up there real quick. So that's the link to get the workbook, realtoideal.com/stand-out message. And that's stand-out-message, realtoideal.com/stand-out-message. If you're on the Real to Ideal Superstars email list, you already have a link to that in your email today. Because it's talking about kind of the same thing, is like, how can you build a brand that will grow as you grow so that you never feel like you're outgrowing it, so that you never feel like you have to rebrand again. And I can say this works because it's worked again and again and again in Real to Ideal. This is not my first pivot in Real to Ideal. And my brand has continued to just keep expanding the container so that it supports me and it holds all that juiciness in. And our clients have the same success where once they get clear on this kind of, this vision of their brand, it grows and grows and grows with their business, no matter how much they pivot and how much they add services on. And so the exercise, I'm referring especially to the distilled brand phrase exercise. And what that does is it helps you get to the core of like, what is your business really about? Because this is kind of like building a personal brand. When you build a personal brand around you, what lights you up, what's your true authentic self, what are your superpowers, your USP, your story, your experience. We're really building a personal brand, even when it's our business brand. And Jennifer, I know you can relate to this, especially we've been diving into like, what is your background and your experience and how does that make you uniquely qualified to help people with organizing their office, organizing their calendar and their time and that kind of thing. And so what we're really doing is we're building a personal brand, even though it's a business brand. And when you do that, you can create a distilled brand phrase that is so specific that it clearly defines what this brand is, but yet at the same time has so much room for growth that you're never going to outgrow it. And so to share with you, my distilled brand phrase is revolutionary leadership. And it's that R in parentheses with the capital E because the emphasis is on evolutionary leadership, the kind of leadership that is going to change the world, make the world a better place, innovate the industry, make waves, and really shake things up. So revolutionary leadership is my distilled brand phrase because I know that no matter what business I start, no matter how I pivot this business, no matter what new venture I go into, as long as I'm helping revolutionary leaders stand out and shine in their arena, like for me right now, it's online, but there may be a time where I work with offline revolutionary leaders. As long as I'm helping those revolutionary leaders to stand out and shine, I'm still on brand. And so for the last 3 years, I've been a business and success coach, and I'm helping women step into their own revolutionary leadership. Like, what is your true authentic self? How can you stand out and shine? How can you bring all these elements together to create a personal brand that is your business brand? And how can you translate that to how you're showing up online, right? Oh yeah, I guess I can drop this off the screen now. Okay. And so I know that I'm going to stay on brand as long as every new offer that I want to share with you is helping revolutionary leaders stand out and shine, right? And so when we looked at how can we better serve our clients, like we have coaching clients that are making these radical transformations in the coaching calls, and they're really stepping into their revolutionary leadership powers. They're really starting to get to know their true authentic self and own that. And they're becoming bigger and brighter leaders in their industry. But how can we better serve them in a way that's going to help them show up that way online? And so it made sense to us to add on the done for you marketing services. Now, I can imagine, because I've seen my clients go through this, that if I hadn't built my brand the way I had built it, which is how I explain in that workbook, if I hadn't built my brand that way, this might have been like, oh, I'm going from coaching to done for you marketing services. I'm not going to stop coaching. We're not taking that off the menu, but we're adding on these done for you marketing services. I can imagine that feeling like it's going to confuse my audience, or that it might need a rebrand, that maybe that doesn't fit the current brand. And oh no, what if I haven't been talking about marketing for the last 3 years? Like, how am I going to build that credibility and establish myself as an expert in marketing? Well, again, because I built my brand the way I did, that wasn't a concern. Whenever Facebook delivers those posts from a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago or whatever it may be, I always laugh at them because I'm saying almost the exact same thing I say today, just, slightly different wording. You really can say the same thing over and over again every single day for years and never repeat it. It is possible. And So it turns out that my message hasn't changed because I was always clear on what the message was. My business, while it feels like a pivot to offer a completely new service, which means I have to learn entirely new skills. Like now I have to learn other email clients besides my own. And my team's excited because they're like, we got this. We already do this. But I'm having to learn new skills. Like I'm starting to sign up for social media scheduling tools that work for agencies so that we can give the clients a chance to approve the stuff that we're working on, kind of thing. So I'm learning these new tools. So it would feel like a pivot. But when you look at the message hasn't changed. All we're doing is serving our clients on a deeper level. And it's like, you don't even have to sign up for the coaching if you're clear on your brand. We'll just help you continue to propagate that brand by creating content for you that's on brand for you and in your voice and representing your energy and that kind of thing. So I just want to emphasize that this is possible. And when you get clear on your distilled brand phrase and your message, for example, using that workbook to do both, then your brand grows with you because it already had so much room to grow in the first place. It's that you're just, as you evolve as a human being, as you evolve as a leader in your business, the brand just expands and it just grows with you. I don't know how to describe that. Like a second skin, I guess. Let's see. Jennifer says, yay, let's turn this into a conversation. Jennifer says, no matter what I do, I want to inspire others to do what they love so they go from clutter to calm, to be in the moment and make a difference in the world. Yay. Oh, I love that. I love that message. And so just to play with that, like I can imagine if you ever get tired, I can't imagine you ever growing tired of helping people organize their offices and their lives and their schedules and things like that. But if you did, being clear on that message, I want to inspire others to do what they love so they go from clutter to calm, to be in the moment and make a difference in the world. So there are so many ways for you to grow within that message. Like if you're talking about that message today and you continue to talk about that message all this year and next year and the next year, there's so many areas for you to grow there. I mean, go from clutter to calm can mean mental clutter. It can mean physical clutter. It can mean emotional clutter. And there's room to grow just in that one place. To be in the moment, I mean, that could be anything from like yoga, meditation, paying attention to what you're eating. Like, are you enjoying what you're eating? That's my favorite part of Naomi's brand, Naomi Calderon of Sunflower and Sage. One of her key takeaways from any of her freebies or any of her challenges or whatever is pay attention to what you're eating. Like, pay attention to what it tastes like. Do you even like the taste of it? Or are you mindlessly eating potato chips? Or you're like, meh, they're okay. They're just crunchy and salty. That's why I like them. Like, well, okay. So maybe there's something you like a lot more that tastes better and, maybe not as fattening as potato chips. So that's how she's going to grow in her brand is this. It's similar to yours, Jennifer, in that her distilled phrase is cut the crap. And when it comes to the distilled brand phrase, you can keep this as an internal thing. Like she doesn't have to ever talk about cut the crap publicly or online or whatever, but she knows that as long as her offers continue to help people cut the crap, as long as her message continues to talk about how you can cut the crap, it doesn't have to say it like that. Like if she were to say that out loud, people might be like, wow, she's a bit blunt, right? Cut the crap is a very blunt phrase. She can say it in ways that are more feminine. She can say it in ways that are more likely to be relatable and easy to understand and stuff like that. But I love that distilled brand phrase of just cut the crap because it's like, oh, I get that. Like when I hear that, I just get it. And so like when she gets it, she's like, now I know what kind of offers to create in my business to grow and to help people. There's no limit to the kinds of things that she can develop, the kinds of workbooks she can do, the kinds of blog posts she can do, the kinds of social media posts she can do, the things she can talk about to her email list. Unlimited possibilities. And it's never going to be confusing as long as she continues to show you how to cut the crap. Mentally, physically, emotionally, from your diet, from your schedule, and everything else. And so, Jennifer, same thing with you. When it goes if it's clutter, I can't speak today. If it's clutter to calm, there's an endless amount of things you could talk about in that. And so for you this year, it might be all about the clutter to calm in your office and on your business schedule, because that's what feels good to you today. And as long as you keep talking about it in the sense that we're going to take you from clutter to calm, clutter to calm, clutter to calm. Like every post is like, here's how to go from clutter to calm in your schedule. Here's how to go from clutter to calm in your office. Here's how to go from clutter to calm at tax time, et cetera, et cetera. People go, oh, Jennifer's the clutter to calm girl. That's who I go to when I feel like I have too much clutter and I want to get back to calm. And so then if you start to introduce other ways to go from clutter to calm, like maybe next year, based on whatever experiences you've had, you decide you really want to tap into the mental clutter and get people from mental clutter to calm. That would be awesome. And it's going to be on brand for you, and you don't have to rebrand. It's going to grow with you. That brand you're creating now will continue to expand to continue to support your business as you grow. And so that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like I don't know for sure that clutter to calm is like your distilled brand phrase, but that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, where it's like, there's so much room to grow in that. And yet it's so clear and specific too. Like when you say that, I get it. I get it immediately. And so clear, so specific, captivating, because who doesn't want to go from clutter to calm if you're feeling cluttered? And so much room to grow. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. And that's what was in the email to the superstars list today. That's what you can learn from that workbook. Jennifer says, oh, I never thought of going off the clutter to calm first. That's so funny because that was your words. I mean, you wrote it in the message, so it was meant to be that this was your own personal breakthrough. If you like it, obviously, that's the real to ideal way is, how does that feel to you? Do you like it? Does it light you up? Does that feel like the direction you want to go? But yeah, that's an example. If it works for you, run with it. If it doesn't work for you, you now see the process to get that kind of clarity and growth in your business. All right, let me check my notes and see if there was anything else. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I did it all. Yep, that covered everything. And I was talking like a mile a minute, so we probably didn't even take very long. So any other questions, I'm happy to answer, even if they show up after this broadcast is over. Still happy to come back and answer questions. Jennifer says, thinking of how that could work in my other business. Ooh, I know what business you're talking about, and that I like that. That's a good idea there too. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's a great spin on this too, which I hadn't thought about. But Jennifer, so you have two different businesses, and I know for a lot of people, this may or may not be true for you, but for a lot of people, having two different businesses feels overwhelming because you're literally running two different businesses and doing all the work times two. When you have a way of tying them together, like for example, if Clutter to Calm works in both businesses, now you have a way to do half the work but get twice the results. So if Clutter to Calm was your message and you saw how that could work for both businesses, now you can create, like, let's say, one blog post about Clutter to Calm, and you write it one way for the business. Like, let's say, for example, the other business was emotional. So you want to show how to go from clutter to calm emotionally. You could write a blog post that shows how to go from clutter to calm emotionally, and it works for the one business. You could write another blog post, pretty much the exact same post, but showing how it works in your physical world, like your office. And so now, yes, you just wrote two different blog posts, but it's easier because they're kind of on the same topic. Like, they're practically the same post. You just tweaked the angle. And the same thing goes with, like, if you have one blog post that works for both businesses, like let's say it's not as different as physical versus emotional. If you have one that works for both, like let's say it's about scheduling, and scheduling is going to work for people whether they're in business or not in business. So the scheduling might be a way that you can help both business clients get from clutter to calm. You could write one blog post, post it on both sites. So, I mean, there is some SEO challenges there about you don't want duplicate content, but you could write the same post, post it on both sites as a blog post, and then use different social media posts to drive traffic to those. So like, let's say you had the exact same blog post and you wanted to drive traffic to it from the emotional side of things, you would write social media posts that talk about how clearing the clutter to calm on your schedule will help you clear the clutter to calm emotionally, and then link back to this post. For your other audience, you would write about how clearing the clutter to calm on your schedule will help you clear the clutter to calm in your business, and then use that to drive traffic back to the same exact post. So again, another way that you can do half the work and get twice the results is you've got one blog post that just talks about how to organize your schedule, but you're driving traffic in two different ways because you're talking to two different audiences from two different angles, but at least you only had to write one post. So that's a better example of what I'm talking about. Hope that made sense. Jennifer says it makes sense, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah, that's it for today. Build a brand that's going to grow with you because it's based on you. Build a brand that's based on your true authentic self, and it will grow with you. If you get clear on the heart of your business, like it's not about what you're offering. It's not about what you're selling. When it comes to your brand, we don't care about how you get people results. We don't care if it's yoga. We don't care if it's scheduling. We don't care if it's social media marketing, whatever it may be. What we care about is, who do you serve and what do you help them do? Because that's where the real brand exists is, Jennifer, for example, might be your clutter to calm girl, regardless of whether it's, your schedule. And again, it's like, do people even care how you're going to get them clutter to calm? As long as you get them to calm, if they feel cluttered now and you get them to calm, that's what they care about. If that's how I was feeling, I feel cluttered and I just don't even know where to start, I'm going to hire Jennifer. If she wants to start with my schedule, fine, start with my schedule. I'm kind of at your mercy here because I need help, right? That's how your clients are probably feeling. Is like, just show me what to do because I feel cluttered and I want to feel calm and I don't know where to start. So yeah, go ahead, start with the schedule and then go to the office and then dive into the emotions or whatever. When people come to me, they say, Molly, I want to stand out and shine online and I don't know how. Where do I start? It's like, okay, well, if you're already feeling fierce and confident and bold and you know how to show up as a leader, then you don't need all this coaching. Let's just dive into the marketing services. If you feel like you feel all those things offline, but then as soon as you sit down to like write at your business, or as soon as you try and show up in your business, you no longer feel fierce and bold and confident, then let's do some coaching to make sure that you're able to show up in that way. And I'll help you with all the marketing to make sure that your brand represents that fierce and bold and confident self person, right? So yeah, as always, find what works for you, follow what truly lights you up and gets you excited, because as we heard in the first part of this, the excitement is what's going to turn heads and get attention. The excitement means you're going to talk about it more, because when you're having fun, you're going to do it more often. And so when you're excited about what you're offering, when you're excited about what you're selling, you're going to talk about it more often, and that is going to lead to more clients. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for the hearts and the likes, even though I didn't shout you out. I didn't know if you wanted to be invisible and lurking, but thank you, ladies. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for making this a conversation, Jennifer. Love that you're here. Love that you're here every week. That just totally warms my heart. All right. Have a wonderful week. And here is to your massively expanding success. Bye.